This video intended for educational purposes. Hey guys, it's Adam aka Swimming Bird, and I've got a little guy on my shoulder. Welcome to a new Minecraft update. Today we're covering the latest 1.9.3 pre-release, but first there's a lot of 1.10 news to talk about. So a lot of you probably still remember the mysterious structure block from 1.10. This thing was shrouded in mystery for a long time during the combat update's development, and eventually we realized it was for the developers mostly, to add in things like the igloo and the end cities. It was for building new naturally generating structures. Well, it's getting an update for 1.10, and we're going to be able to use it as well. So as you can see, it's got these new textures made by lead developer Jeb, and there's 4 modes. There's save mode, load mode, data mode for things like loot tables, and corner mode. It's kind of similar to a fill or clone command where it's going to judge 2 corners and then copy or save anything in there. But the structure block has more functionality. You can rotate your structures, mirror them, save them into a little folder in your world, and it's got a 32 by 32 by 32 max block limit. And it's going to be kind of cool because you could just save a house that you've built and load it into another world that you've got. You could save command block contraptions, so map makers are really going to like this. Or you could use this in conjunction with those to add a bunch of additions into your world, and I'm sure people will be able to figure out how to randomly spawn in all these structures that are included and kind of spice up the vanilla world using the things that are already in it to make new structures. Now, there's no plan by the devs so far to redo any of the existing world gen structures like the Stronghold for 1.10. And I'll link to a Reddit thread where developer Serge, he answered a bunch of questions and stuff like this, so a lot of this info is covered there, but he answered questions for a while on the structure blocks. And you can even see in the little image, there's like a weird highlight, like I think that's where it's placing it. They're still a little mysterious, but we'll be able to mess with them more soon. Now, in Pocket Edition news, and also PC news, one of the developers is working on the Observer, which is, it sounds like a foreboding creature, but it's actually a new bud block, a block update detector, and it's going to come to PC eventually. Now, developer Tommaso had a texture he made for it. It was rejected, but even old game creator Notch loves it, so maybe it'll pop in again. I think it was supposed to be quartz to craft it, but it's basically just going to be an official block update detector. Now, I don't think they're going to get rid of other methods right now, like pistons and stuff, or change a bunch of the existing bud works, because that would mess up so many redstone devices. They're working with redstone experts in the Minecraft community to kind of make this the way it should be made. And you can see the texture, obviously. It's similar to a dispenser or a dropper. For now, it's got a weird face, but that will probably change in the future. And speaking of new blocks, we've got 2 more coming into 1.10. They're both made by Jeb. Now, these textures might change. I know some people aren't a huge fan of them. They're both crafted from Nether Wart, and you can see there's one that's what you would expect, tightly packed warts in a little weird block, but the other is like a more vibrant nether brick block, but it has smaller bricks. I think they both look not too bad. I don't see myself using a big wart block in my builds, but it's a nice way to, kind of like a coal block to store your nether wart. And I know recently people have talked about there's a lot of colors that are not represented in any of the Minecraft blocks, so hopefully we get some, I think like the blue and green hues are really not represented that much in most of the blocks. We have lots of reds and browns and stuff like that, so hopefully they'll add more blocks in to cover all of the colors that we need to have really diverse looking builds. Now, these are only craftable. They're not going to be naturally spawning. And combined with the comment I mentioned earlier with Serge about not redoing existing structures, I'm kind of thinking we might not get new nether generation, like new buildings and stuff like that, but we could get maybe an extension of the nether in 1.10, kind of like the end city islands. I think it's a little easier to not break worlds if you make it where there's a place you can go that's in addition to what's already there, like in the end, you go to a new area to see the new stuff. So maybe we'll have like a deeper nether, someplace scarier and tougher in 1.10. It seems like they're focusing on the nether a lot from what we've seen in past news updates. And last here, I wanted to mention, with 193, this is a teaser image for the 3rd pre-release, and if you look at that hotbar down there, That's kind of a strange pattern of items. We've got glass, books, and beacons. Could this be a new crafting recipe for 1.10? I don't know. Maybe it's the structure blocks or something like that. We're probably not going to be able to craft those, obviously, because they're like command blocks. But who knows? That's going to be very expensive if you need 2 beacons. But it could be a little bit of a teaser. Now, for 193, it was mostly bug fixes and things like that. Like there was potential crashes with water and lava pathfinding stuff. But they did go back on a thing that was interesting in the last pre-release. They've started blacklisting servers that do not comply to the terms of service, like servers selling things like in-game items, stuff like that. That's all against the EU LA that was established a while ago. And they started blacklisting those servers so that when players tried to get on them, they thought they had a connection error. And it was just kind of not the way that a lot of people wanted them to handle it, I think. I think it should, or a lot of people at least, think that it should say, hey, this server has been blacklisted because it's violating this stuff, rather than just giving you a generic connection error. So they're working on that. I think they're going to maybe add it back in a different fashion or a more legitimate fashion for people to know exactly what's going on with those servers that they've been visiting. And last but not least here, the Minecraft.net website has a 2.0 design. It's quite a bit nicer looking. The old design has been, going for years. If you've been playing Minecraft for a while, it's had that design for a very long time, and it looks pretty nice. The one thing I tried to do on it today was change my skin, and it loaded forever, so maybe it's not working exactly correct right now, but, but who knows? You guys can test it out and see. And I'll put a link, I mentioned before, but I'll put a link in the description if you want to read more about the structure blocks and other new things coming to 1.10. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to leave a like on this video, I definitely appreciate it. And if you want to subscribe, we'll have more 1.10 news in the future. 193 is probably going to be coming out pretty soon here, and we're getting close to 1.10 Snapshot, so I'm excited for that. I can't wait to go see a polar bear in the wild instead of in a picture. I'll see you guys next time, though, for more Minecraft. Goodbye.